Good afternoon, viewers and listeners. Welcome once again to Salida, TeleRadyo of the La Filipina National High School. I am the teacher host, Sir Nimeljun B. Astacan, and this afternoon, you will learn many things about triangle congruence, lesson in Mathematics 8, Quarter 3, Module 2A. Are you all ready? Let's give the floor to our teacher broadcaster, Sir Richard S. Biñas.
Thank you so much, Sir Nimuel. Hello, viewers and listeners, especially sa ato mga grade 8 na mga estudyante. Welcome to another episode of Salida, TeleRadyo. I am Richard S. Biñas, your math teacher for today. Are you ready for our brand new mathematics lesson? Relax and feel free to get your Quarter 3, Module 2A Triangle Congruence as your guide for today's lesson. In this lesson, you are expected to illustrate triangle congruence. Before we start discussing our lesson proper, let's define first some important terms involved in our lesson. First, I know you are familiar with the term triangle, but not all of us is aware of its Cebuano term. So here it is, gitlo, or sometimes ginatawag siya og triangulo. Nakailan na tananta, ani, in fact, very common siya nga shape makita nato sa atong panimalay, sa classroom, actually everywhere. Can you name triangular objects na makita nato sa inyong palibot karon? Second, congruent. In figures, identical in form. Pasabot, managsama. Coinciding exactly when superimposed. Meaning, if ipsapaw nato ang duha ka triangle, perfect, walay mulabaw na maski gamay na part. Third, corresponding parts. Refer to parts that match between two congruent triangles. Na-mention nato kaganina nga musapaw, diha na mapasok karon ang corresponding parts. Kadtong in short, nagtungod na mga parts. Let us have a quick review on the different parts of the triangle. What are the different parts of the triangle? Can you name them all? Correct! Triangles do have 3 sides, 3 angles, and 3 vertices. Today, as we discuss the triangle congruence, I want you all to focus on the 3 sides and 3 angles. Hence, these are the only parts that have dimensions or measurements. And these are very vital in our congruence lessons. Now, let us study on how to determine if the 2 triangles are congruent. 2 triangles are congruent when they have 1. Exactly the same measurement as the corresponding sides. Second, exactly the same measurement of the corresponding angles. Example, given the figure. In triangle congruence, you have to remember these symbols and what it stands for. This symbol, which read as triangle ABC, is congruent to triangle DEF. This is the symbol for congruency. And this is the symbol for triangle. Let's go back to the given figure. For those nag-tuning in sa ato ang TeleRadyo, you can open your module on page 2. In the given figure, corresponding sides are marked the same. And same goes with the corresponding angles. As you can see, meron tayong markings dyan sa ating figure. Ang pasabot ana, na yung mga meaning ng mga kudlit or kanang mga curve na atong ginabutang. So, the same number of kudlit or the same number of curve makita ninyo sa angles, mo na sila ang mga corresponding parts or corresponding sides or corresponding angles. Therefore, the pair of corresponding sides are namely side AB and side DE. Thus, side AB is congruent to side DE. Side AC corresponds to side DF. Thus, side AC is congruent to side DF. Side BC corresponds to side EF. Thus, side BC is congruent to side EF. Let's move on to the pairs of corresponding angles. Angle A corresponds to angle D. Thus, angle A is congruent to angle D. Angle B corresponds to angle E. Thus, angle B is congruent to angle E. Angle C corresponds to angle F. Thus, angle C is congruent to angle F. Congruent triangles are named by listing vertices in corresponding orders. Usabon nako, when naming two congruent triangles, there must be a proper correspondence on the vertices. In simple terms, matching on the vertices must be followed. Since all the statements are true, the corresponding sides and the corresponding angles in our figure are congruent, thus, triangle ABC is congruent to triangle DEF. Let's have another illustrative example. I want you to study the given figure. Given is a figure showing two triangles. Can you name all the pairs of corresponding sides? How about the corresponding angles? Let us check your answer. For corresponding sides, what do you have? Correct. Side XY and side RT corresponds to each other. So, side XY is congruent to side TR. Side XZ corresponds to side ST. So, XZ is congruent to side TS. Side YZ corresponds to side RS. So, side YZ is congruent to RS. What are your bases? I agree. Side XY has the same marking as side RT. Side XZ has the same marking as side ST. Side YZ has the same markings as RS. How about for corresponding angles? Correct! Angle X corresponds to angle T. So, angle X is congruent to angle T. Angle Y corresponds to angle R. So, angle Y is congruent to angle R. Angle Z and angle S. So, angle Z is congruent to angle S. How did you find your answer? Correct. Angle X has the same marking as angle T. Angle Y has the same marking as angle R. And angle Z has the same marking as angle S. Since all the statements are true, the corresponding sides and the corresponding angle are congruent, therefore, we can conclude that the triangle XYZ is congruent to triangle TRS. Now, can you write it in symbols? Triangle XYZ is congruent to triangle TRS. Did you get the correct answer? Very good. That is the symbol for triangle XYZ is congruent to triangle TRS. Again, take note, when naming two congruent triangles, there must be a proper correspondence in the vertices. In simple terms, matching on the vertices must be followed. To sum it up, let us remember few things. First, the two triangles are congruent when they have exactly the same measurement of the corresponding sides and exactly measurement of the corresponding angles. Second, corresponding sides are marked the same, and same goes with the corresponding angles. Take note for the markings. Third, congruent triangles are named by listing the vertices in corresponding orders. For our assessment, choose the letter of the correct answer. Write your answer on the separate sheet of paper. I will give you 10 seconds for every question. Are you ready? Number 1. Listed below are the 6 pairs of corresponding parts of congruent triangles. Side SA is congruent to side JO. Side AD is congruent to side OY. Side SD is congruent to side JY. Angle D is congruent to angle Y. Angle A is congruent to angle O. And angle S is congruent to angle J. Name the congruent triangles. A. Triangle SD is congruent to triangle JOY. B. Triangle ADS is congruent to triangle YJO. Letter C. Triangle SAD is congruent to triangle JOY. Letter D. Triangle SAD is congruent to triangle JYO. Your time starts now. Time is up. The correct answer for number 1 is letter C. How about number 2? Use the marked triangles to write a correct congruent statement. I want you to study the figure. A. Side LT is congruent to side MS. Side LO is congruent to side ME. Side OT is congruent to side ES. Triangle LOT is congruent to triangle MES. Letter B. Side LT is congruent to side SM. Side LO is congruent to side ME. Side OT is congruent to side ES. Triangle LOT is congruent to triangle SME. Letter C. Side LT is congruent to side MS. Side OL is congruent to side ME. Side OT is congruent to side SE. Triangle LOT is congruent to triangle MSE. Letter D. Side TL is congruent to side MS. Side LO is congruent to side ME. Side OT is congruent to side ME. Triangle TOL is congruent to triangle SME. Your time starts now. Time is up. The correct answer for number 2 is letter A. Congratulations! I hope you got them right. For your assignment, create a design of your own kite. Tama, magbuhat mo og tabanog. Applying pairs of congruent triangles. You may use colors to enhance your design. The criteria for your assignment: color, 20 points. Design, 20 points. Application of the concept, 20 points. Originality, 20 points. Total points, 80. You can put your output in a long bond paper and submit it to your respective advisors. Let us reflect. There are infinite examples of congruency. that you can observe in real life. A simple example is a set of floor tiles in the hardware of the same shape and size. However, it is not only on things you can see congruency, but also on people. Like if you have friends with the same vibes as you, same personality, and sentiments on the things around you, ikaw, kinsa man ang imong nauna-unaan. That's the end of our today's episode of Salida TeleRadyo. If you like and enjoy our lesson of today's episode, let us know. Just comment down below. For any questions, clarifications, don't forget to contact your math teacher. Thank you so much for watching and tuning in. This is Teacher Richard S. Biñas. Hanggang sa muli, bye-bye. Have a nice day.
That was great! Thank you, Sir Richard. And thank you, viewers and listeners, for tuning in. I hope you learned something today. Once again, I am the teacher host, Sir Nimaljun B. Astacan, saying, if math is hard and so is life, then get over it. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.